Welcome to the Playmakers Football Insight. Today we'll be discussing, there's a post that I saw on Facebook this morning. The post, it talks about considering the height factor when we recruit players for the academies, and we should go to rural areas in terms of recruiting for the academies. And the other thing is the coaches, right? That we need to get the coaches to nurture these players. So yeah, on the height factor, it's always been a cry, especially if you don't progress in these events, because I always call World Cups the battle of the cultures, right? It's the battle of the cultures, because just to give you an example, I was watching the game of Spain versus Ukraine. So both teams were playing 4-3-3, and in the three in the middle, both teams, they use a pivot and two attacking players, 2 10s. And even what you call Ukraine was doing the same thing. But in terms of the style of play of the two teams, it was totally different. You could see Spain was patient build up. They use the keeper more often to make sure that they create that extra player. They always looking for that pivot to get out of that situation, right? But whereas with the Ukraine, they didn't use much of the pivot, and whenever the keeper got the ball, he was trying to play the wide players or play the center back. The center, whether the left or right center back, you always try and go more on the channels. So they didn't want to penetrate here. So, but Spain, on the other hand, they were like using the center backs to make sure they have a clean build up, so that they can have the progression of the ball in a much nicer way. So that, because the belief is that if the defenders get the ball nicely from the keeper, then they can deliver it more nicely to the midfielders can deliver it more nicely to the strikers, so they've got a better chance of scoring. So you see, it's two teams playing same formation, but it's different style of play. So it tells you about the culture, because it's how they perceive football and understand football, right? So it's the same, right? Because in South Americans, they see it, football is seen the other way, and in Europe, the belief is not the same, and in Asia it's not the same, and in Africa, and especially here in Africa, there's the southern part, west and the east and the north, right? So you could see the players from the southern part of Africa, we are not very tall players, it's just average height, but what we are blessed with is the technique, right? The technique, we're more quick, we're very mobile, right? So this playing combination, we're very skillful, we can take on players, eliminate people, combination play, quick 1-2s. So we're very tricky. Yeah, we're very tricky. But so whenever we don't progress in this tournament, it's like we always want to check the winners. We want to copy the winners, right? And if you copy the winners, you'll never be the best. You'll always come second best, because what happens when you're playing the winners? Because you can't beat them in their own methods, right? In their own way of playing, you can't beat them with that. So we need to create our own way of playing, which is today it's something that we not have. Because whenever the coach comes, they come with their own philosophy. They come with their own philosophy. So they take the players that they want, that's going to suit their style of play. But it's not supposed to be like that. Because I remember the other time I was in a conversation with Coach Sipho Dlangalala. And then he was saying that, when you're trying to get the best of the best, in terms of when you're trying to train best doctor. You don't just train 5 students. You must train thousands and thousands of students to get that best of the best one. So what I'm trying to say that it shouldn't be the case that a coach must come and choose from a very, very, very small pool of players, the type of players that he wants. But if we've got our national philosophy, our playing style, then we can say we've got a pool of players. Even if we don't get, for example, if we don't get Mbokazi, if we had our national playing style that Mbokazi fits into, even if you don't get him, we can still go and get the player that understands the role of the left center back. Because there's a difference between a position and a role. Because the more focus is always on position, you playing left center back. But what are the role? What is your role in this team environment as a left center back? What are you doing for us in this? So everyone should play their role, right? So what I'm trying to say is that height, I don't think height is the factor, right? Height shouldn't be a factor, but how we train these players. I agree on the post that we need coaches that are going to nurture these players, right? So I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that, because you need coaches that are going to nurture these players from an LFA level, highly trained coaches, right? Because in South Africa we've got this tendency of saying these terms of the coaching terms, but now when it's time to say, when you say to someone that please create a training session for me on what you're talking about, let's say, okay, create a training session for me on rest defense. You're talking about rest defense, create that from the warm-up up until the main part of the session. Can you create that thing for me? So we need to be competent in terms of talking about these things and then put that thing on paper and then up to conducting the session on the training field, right? So on that one of the coaches, and the other part that I agree on, we should really go as far as the rural areas to check these players, that we should make sure that there's no kid that is no one is missed through this the process of selecting players, to make sure that they go to the academies. Because now at this point we cannot saying that we're working with the best, because this is what we have. We haven't looked everywhere. So back in the day, when I was still playing, there were tournaments like interprovincial tournament. So go there under 12, under 14, under 17, under 20. So this is where we make sure that the Eastern Province, the border, Transkei, Eastern Cape, make sure that everyone, you bring your best players, and then we go maybe to KZN or go to Joburg or Oudtshoorn to play a tournament. So the best of the Eastern Cape would go and play with the best of Gauteng, KZN, Western Cape, Northwest, Northern Cape. So this is where they get to select players for the national team under 12. And then there was in the mix of that, there was USASA as well. So if you didn't make it in local football, there was school football, where we would go for trials, and then you represent your province, and from that province, when you're going to play the USASA, and then they would select a national team there from the schools, right? So they would take that team and then they would include it in the interprovincial tournament. So just a quick one in this part of height. I know I'm jumping around points, right? So in this point of heights, there's this thing of what you call Michael Loftman, right? He was doing a Zoom, and then in the Zoom, one of the things he said is that South African players, right, from the age 8 up until 13, they've got no competition technically. technically they've got no competition. They are far. They very far from everyone, technically. Remember, this is coming from the coach that has traveled South America, Asia, Europe, and now was in Africa. I'm not saying South African player, but now the thing is that in terms of game understanding, right, this is where we fall short in terms of understanding the moments of the game, right? How do we manage a game when it's 1-1, when we've got a red card, or when that team has got a red card? You see, in those little moments when our player is out, is still out, is being treated, is got injured. So in those little moments, they said that we need to make sure that we instill these things. And he said that one of the things is that he doesn't think at amateur level we're doing a good job, just because our focus is on winning. As coaches, we want to be the best. It's more about our ego. That's what he said in that Zoom. He said, we want to look good than the players. We forget that we are here to serve the players. Because national team is everyone. This is the reality that we need to face as South Africans. That national team is everyone. It starts with everyone. Because remember the kid now that is 10 years now, when they are 25, right? So who's coaching them now that they are 10? They are not playing in an academy. Because I always say that this is what I took from Coach Zippo Langalala. He said amateur football is the mother of professional football, right? So everyone started the amateur. So the kid that is 10 now, 15 years from now, is going to be 25. Is going to be playing at the World Cup. So the person that is coaching that kid now, you need to make sure now that you equip this kid with the tools that he can use even at that time when he's 25 or 23, or is in the under 20, 7 years from now, or 8 years from now, is playing in the and is in the World Cup. You need to give them tools that they can use even there. They're not gonna be outdated, because our focus is on drills. Yeah. So height is not easy. I don't think height is our problem. We don't think height is our problem. Those countries that are using height, it's because of they've got those type of players. When they profile their players, they've got those type of players. Physically, height is one of the attributes that they have. But for us, it is not our reality. It's like someone that says that when a girl says to, hey, I could go out with you, but the problem is your height. It's something you can't change, Chief. It's something you can't change. So what you'll do now? There's nothing you can do. You must try and work with what you have. And this is what we have. In the southern part, we are blessed. Even the likes of the late Ted Dimitri said it. We've got treasure in our hands, but we don't know how to use it. Right? Okay, yeah, so it was more about to share that. I hope that you can even comment in the comment section. What do you think? Do we need to go for consider the height factor? Or, because even if you've got a height, because you still need to be a good football player, great football player, in fact, to perform at that level. Because it's the battle of cultures. We've got Spain that are dominating football right now. But they are very short. Those guys are very short. Others, they are on average height. But their game understanding is on another level. Right? So everyone now wish they should be winning. They should be doing all these things with these countries with the height. But they're dominated. They are made to chase the football all over the pitch all night long, right? It's about into yenzayo ebaleni. Yeah. Of course, height, it might play a role there and there, yeah. But we cannot sibambelele ke height sithi hayi sifuna le height Yeah, if man. Yeah, no, it's the Playmakers Insight. You can drop your opinion on the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the channel. We like to grow this and bring you the football content. Yeah, salute. Next time.